one of the most rare pedals on the face of the earth. It is the Interfax Harmonic Percolator HP1.
Harmonic Percolator?
The Harmonic Percolator. Interfax.
We're going to explore the unique, rare, and cult classic pedal, the HP1 Harmonic Percolator from Interfax.
Somebody recommended a Harmonic Percolator from Interfax. Very rare, bizarre pedal.
You might need to start Harmonic Percolator wars.
I guess to start our first guitar demo, we should probably play a bunch of harmonic percolators, eh?
HP2 is a distortion device based on the Harmonic Percolator, a genuinely unusual design that is instantly recognizable, known as a sonic doomsday device, but can be easily dialed down to just a touch of harmonic richness.
Now, when you research anything about the Harmonic Percolator online, you're going to read about Steve Albini.
Steve Albini was
Steve Albini, yes, loves it.
Steve Albini is the music industry maverick, a man with a steadfast integrity in both his business dealings and his approach to recording music. Despite this punk rock approach and his refusal to pander to the mainstream, he's worked with major artists such as Nirvana, Page and Plant, Pixies, and many others.
We had always listened to records that Steve had made. I remember when I first moved in with Kurt, I think he only had like 4 records. It was like, well, he had a Mark Lanigan record, there was Surfer Rosa, there was a Breeder's Pod, and a Jesus Lizard record. And that was just the sound that we felt most, that we loved. And I think we had probably wanted to work with Steve before we made Nevermind, but we wound up making it with Butch.
There seems to be setting up as a kind of a compare and contrast between me and Butch Vig. And I should point out that Butch Vig's production aesthetic and his approach as an engineer was formed in precisely the same way that mine was, doing budget records for dead broke bands in a short amount of time, trying to be as efficient as possible with not just with the time, but with the materials. His aesthetic and his techniques are very much in the same school as mine. I have a ton of respect for Butch. He and I felt a kind of friendly competition with him before he started making big famous records, before he made records with bands like Nirvana. He and I were making records with a lot of the same bands, like kindred bands. They would do one record with me and one record with Butch, or he would do a Killdozer record and a De Kreutzen record, and then I would do a Killdozer record and a De Kreutzen record. It was like the same clientele, the same peer group, the same circles. The nice thing about the Harmonic Percolator is it can be set to fairly extreme levels of clipping without completely obliterating the fundamental. And I think that's because of that asymmetrical clipping thing that I was talking about. This is an Interfax Harmonic Percolator. It's been around the world a couple of times, and this was an actual made by the crazy dude in Milwaukee Interfax Harmonic Percolator. The whistling quality that you get from this distortion pedal seems to be more controllable and more usable than a lot of other distortion pedals. The microphonic feedback seems to be more useful. And that was without me having to touch a string. So that's, as a labor-saving device, it's tremendous. When I hit the button, I really don't have to do very much. The guitar just starts playing itself. There's microphonic feedback and the sustaining string feedback. All that stuff just goes kind of automatically no matter what I do. And that's one of the things that I like about it, and that doesn't seem to happen with other fuzz tones. I don't know why. I've only ever used just the one fuzz tone, so and I use it for maybe 4% of the set, something like that.
There are a ton of companies out there today making their own take on this unique pedal.
People who have done recreations. Barge Concepts pedals.
Barge Concepts BP1, a clone or an attempt to mimic a original Interfax HP1.
Classic style Chuck Collins. We got a headache Dinosaur. Frederick Effects Perky Harlot.
Yeah.
One side of the dude incredible.
This particular pedal is an incredibly accurate reproduction of the original Interfax HP1, and it's from Chuck Collins.
The land device is HP2.
Really cool fuzz based on the old Harmonic Percolator.
Cappuccino fuzz right here. A Harmonic Percolator.
We have the Frederick Effects Harmonic Percolator.
It has immediately become one of my favorite fuzz pedals, like one of those harmonic percolators type of circuits.
The hexafoil is their take on the infamous harmonic percolator circuit.
Cafe Bustelo fuzz, a 100% recycled material Interfax harmonic percolator.
In order to trace the origins of the harmonic percolator, we have to go back to the 1970s to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where a guy named Ed Giese or Giese or Giese, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it, but I'm going to call him Ed. Ed ran a small electronics repair company called Interfax. And in addition to repairing electronics, Ed actually designed and manufactured his own electronics, most notably the Interfax Harmonic Percolator HP1. It's also one of the very first elusive pedals because the original run of harmonic percolators used to have paint and epoxy over the circuit boards to mask the components, making it very mysterious. The HP1 was manufactured and sold directly through the Interfax company in the 70s. It was made in small batches for a limited time, and that means that there aren't that many of the original units out there, and it's a very rare pedal. The rarity of this pedal is only one aspect of why it's gained so much popularity.
Interesting device, very few around, very rare, very expensive. And as such, you're going to have people out there who will want to make clones and sort of modded versions, which, as far as I know, that is what the HP2 is here. It's a modded harmonic percolator. Let's go ahead and crack open the pedal. The harmonic percolator circuit is a strange circuit. There's a college professor who did a video explanation of the pedal. I can't remember who it is.
Hi there. My name is Aaron Lanterman. I'm a professor of electrical and computer engineering at Georgia Tech. And while I was thinking about final project ideas for students in my guitar amplification and effects class at Georgia Tech, I came across this weird pedal called the Harmonic Percolator. Let's dig into the schematic of the Interfax Harmonic Percolator HP1. I just can't get over how weird this circuit is.
It really seems to work. I built this one off of what they call the consensus schematic. It's on the internet. You can find it on do-it-yourself snob boxes, blah, blah, blah. I haven't even finished boxing it yet.
This is the schematic for a harmonic percolator. It's such a Velcro ripping fuzz sound, and it's just a lot more interesting. So we're going to put one together. This is a good choice with this 250. I still have the 500 in the output, but we're going to plug this in and we'll go from there. Let's try it out.
signal's going into the harmonic percolator, coming back out, and then I'm sending that into an oscilloscope on an iPad. And turn up the input, and you can see straight away the difference between that and the clean signal is we've got that little extra peak there. If I increase the amount of harmonic percolator going in, you can see that that actually gets quite spiky. There we go.
It's the one. It's the only. It's the world famous Interfax HP1. And of course, I haven't built it yet, so I haven't got anything to show you. Stay tuned. Here's the layout that I came up with. Bam! So, off the input, this ground line here, wrapping it here, and then pulling this taut straight out here, and solder that down. That'll keep the mic into place. Keeps our ground bus moving along. Then we have to manipulate the other side of this mica lead into where I want it to be. 20K, so we'll put the jumper in the 20K position first. Why isn't it going on? Oh, it's just tight. That's good. And then a 473 capacitor. I'm gonna have to chop the leads down on it first though. And that should slot right in here. A harmonic stimulator with not the correct transistors. I'm gonna have to order and reconvene this video in about a month. That is actually a fun little sound. The Marshall takes pedals well, and you just plug them in there. So let's pull the 158 out, put in the 1307, see what that sounds differently. Oh, we got a bit more wool. Oh, okay, interesting. Let's try one more. There we go. The TR-84 is my favorite transistor so far in the Rangemaster, because of course I don't have an OC44 to my name. I gotta put the good old-fashioned 158 back into place. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this jumper and I'm gonna switch to the 91K bias mode. Yeah, we're in the 91K bias mode now.